So you got your first point on your puppy, or your special took breed. You got a group placement on your bitch. The next step is to document the moment in a photograph. You see your photographers every weekend, right? How about learning more about these familiar faces and what inspired them to capture our proudest moments? Be sure to subscribe and ring that little bell so you don't miss one moment of the dog show fun. This week's question of the week: do you have a favorite dog show photograph memory? Since oftentimes we end up spending way more than those 2 minutes in the ring earning the ribbons, getting our actual photos taken with those ribbons, I think it's time to get to know a little bit more about those behind the camera. I spent the weekend with Bryan McNabb of Bryan McNabb Photography and Tammy Wilkerson of Winner's Pick Dog Show Photography. Both Bryan and Tammy worked under renowned show photographer Earl Graham. Earl was the dog show photographer. It feels safe to say he was the godfather of dog show photography. He started as a photographer in the military during World War II, working his way to a staff photographer for a local newspaper, and then right into working as a member of the American Kennel Club, photographing dogs across the eastern U.S. Bryan was hired 26 years ago to run a photo lab for Earl, who had owned his own in-house lab to process the black and white photos that he took at dog shows. He went from running the lab to attending dog shows and shooting alongside Earl. Bryan was eventually offered an opportunity to work with Bonnie Gray and took over her business after she retired. When I asked him if he's in dogs, his answer was, "No, I am not." Interesting, right? Since he spends hour upon hour photographing our canine friends. Do you own a dog?
I have Cavaliers. They're little go-getters, so that's kind of what led me to the Cavaliers.
Okay. Yes, he has a degree in photography, processing his very first black and white film at the age of 12. So his passion truly is photography, and then went on to learn dogs.
This is not as much about photography as it's about knowing the dogs. You got to know the different breeds. You got to know how they're to be photographed. You got to know what angle. Do you want them, is it a three-quarter dog? Is it a profile dog? Do you want ears up? Do you want ears down? Do you want mouth open? Do you want mouth shut?
It's all in the eye, I tell you. Each breed, how to stack it, how to make it look its best, all while keeping an eye on the other subjects in the photo, meaning the handler and the judge, because he definitely has learned how to make our dogs look amazing. Tammy started 23 years ago as a stay-at-home mom when Earl hired her to run the office, starting just part-time so she could still pick up her kids from school. Her first day of work was April 1st, the best April Fool's Day joke ever. Over time, he eventually asked her if she wanted to start taking photos. He took the time to teach her using a sawhorse as an example of how to position a stacked dog. Brilliant, right? She was another pet-loving photographer who didn't really know about dog shows or different breeds. She learned from Earl and, of course, watched how handlers stacked their dogs, but she also perused dog show magazines to learn stacking techniques for each breed. How to pose a dog was just the start because Earl also taught her outside settings versus inside settings and how to use the manual functions on a camera.
Well, you heard what, you and Dorothy.
Right.
She was like, she knows.
You know what she wants.
Because she's told me this is what I want.
Right.
I know what she wants.
And you pay attention. You take note. You know
you do that with a lot of them. Some of them want straight on with their dog.
Really? Okay.
And the breed might really be turned, but she wants it
She wants it straight on.
So you shoot it
So
straight
you just
on.
straight on. So you just, yeah.
You just, listen.
Tammy continued to work for Earl right through his retirement, where he handed the business over to her, including all of the equipment and, of course, knowledge he lovingly shared with her. A day in the life of a show photographer at a dog show is a unique one. It starts off slow, with requests for photos for breed wins and points received. As the day progresses and groups begin, the mad rush starts, with each dog and their handler coming in with their big, beautiful ribbons. And then they start all over again the next day. In between each photo request, they are working on finding that perfect photo from each session, editing it, and making it available for purchase. You see, back in the day, we would get 2 8x10 photos in the mail, and it was kind of an unwritten rule that if you had a photo taken, you were going to buy it, whether you liked the photo or not. Most in the industry have switched to online ordering of photos, allowing you to choose from an instant download of the image or order the traditional 8x10 print. As a regular purchaser of dog win photos, and no, I'm not trying to brag, I can tell you I am beyond thrilled with the new options. I can actually look at the photo before I buy it and not be shocked at the horrific expression on my face when I open up the envelope at my mailbox. For the photographers, of course, it cuts down the cost of mailings, but it also eliminates the problems with the wrong armband number or an incorrect address in the catalog. The old format would require the photographer to go to the photo, process or print them, find the coordinating armband number with the dog listed in the catalog, and then the address of the owner. You'd have to invoice the owner and then mail out the photos, then having to wait 2 to 3 weeks to even get paid. In today's day and age, that instant gratification we have on ordering everything now allows us to have your photo immediately, and the photographer gets paid with a click of a button. Honestly, when you think about it, they were having to pay their travel expenses and hotel and other expenses, and then blindly mailing things out waiting for a check to come back. When you look at it that way, they really trusted us, didn't they? And how were we rewarded? Now they work their butts off to get those photos up the same day or that night, and you can order them proudly to display the very next day as you announce your amazing wins and accomplishments. These two may have started under the careful eye of Earl, but grew their skills and their passion to build their own individual businesses in this amazing sport. Bryan and Tammie go on the road as show photographers individually, as well as together for larger shows, ensuring everyone has a chance to have a beautiful photo to document their amazing moments. Both are highly respected for their photography skills as well as their patience with not only our dogs, but with us humans as well, because you all know we are a pain in the ass. It's time we just own it, seriously. And praise these amazing photographers who capture the moments we work so hard to achieve. Thank you, Bryan, and thank you, Tammie, for making our dogs and us look so awesome. Be sure to check out my website, bestinshowbitch.com, where you can find tons of cool merch and become a patron so we can spread more bitch-tastic fun.
Congratulations.
Is it okay being on video? I'm sorry? Are you okay being on? You're okay being
Is
on
he
video.
okay on being on video?
What the hell?
Being on
Yeah,
video.
yeah, yeah.
You can get everything you need
Yeah.
right here.